Playing PvP in ARK can be one of the best experiences you'll ever have in a game. If you meet any of the following 5 reasons, you're going to have a great time playing PvP. You're standing in the remainings of your base. Yesterday, when you went offline, it got wiped off the server and everything is gone. You have no resources, no dinos, and now you think about giving up for this wipe. I mean, your base stood for over 1 week, and that is the longest you have ever played in one run. You turn off the game, lean back and take a deep breath. A few hours later, you have built a small stone cube somewhere hidden in the forest, you tamed an ankylo, argent and a frog. Your forge is a burning metal, and you placed your first heavy to defend your progress. Being wiped is just as frustrating for you as it is for everyone else. But you are different. Where most people would quit, you kick into the next gear. I can see it. The fire in your eyes. I know that feeling. You want to be the best. This was your base and now it's gone and you want revenge. In your head, this was only the beginning of the greatest comeback in ARK history. PvP servers in ARK awaken the competitive spirit of players. Battles against other players for resources and territory add an intense layer of competition to the game. Whether you're raiding an enemy base or defending your own, the thrill of battle keeps players engaged and hooked on the game. If you like competitive games, battles against other players don't stress you out, and you can deal with certain defeats from time to time, PvP is for you. The fact that you got back on your feet so quickly is thanks to a tip of your mate gave you the other day. You didn't think that it could work, but because you listened to him, you got yourself a pullover and hid it somewhere on the map with important things like blueprints, a small pre-crafted base, with most of the important crafting stations and some sets of armor, weapons and tools. This strategy and your mind game saved you this wipe. As you did not have to restart from zero, you were able to get back to the level you had before you got wiped in no time at all. And now, in your head, there's only one goal for you. You want your loot back. And a little revenge for your base and your dinos can't hurt either. So you fly around the map for hours. You dive to all the pearl caves to find the base of the tribe that wiped you. And after a few days, you actually found it. From then on, the tables turn. You're not strong enough to deal with their defense. Not yet. But you plan your next steps. You look for the weak points in their defense. You plan which resources you have to farm, which dinosaurs you have to tame and breed, next to finally bring down your enemy. PvP requires strategic thinking and planning. From building bases to organizing raids, players must plan carefully to outsmart their opponent. Balancing attack and defense, scouting enemy territory and adapting tactics on the fly are essential skills for success in PvP. If the changing nature of the game encourages you to play strategic and find innovative ways to deal with problems, PvP is for you. While you're preparing everything for the big day, you notice that the mood in the chat is getting worse and worse. It looks like you weren't the only target of the raiders. In the last few days, they have wiped several tribes of the server and many players have had to start again. Some have even stopped playing, but others seem to be like you. They don't want to give up. During a quiet hour at night, you start the conversation with another tribe. They were also destroyed and like you, had a few backup items. And now they use them to rebuild themselves. During the conversation, you find out that they are also preparing for a big raid on the other tribe. In the world of ARK, where players often find themselves at odds with another, the saying, "the enemy of my enemy is my friend," takes on a special meaning. Despite the usual state of competition and conflict, your shared challenges and foes create a common ground. In this environment, where alliances can be short-lived and trust is hard to come by, our mutual adversaries can unexpectedly bring us together, even if just for a brief moment. From now on, you have partners. You trade dinos, resources and blueprints. You form a common alliance, and from that day on, you progress much faster. PvP servers encourage social interaction and cooperation between players. Joining or forming tribes allows you to work together with other players to achieve common goals, such as conquering rival tribes. Building relationships with other tribe members enhances the multiplayer experience on a large scale. If you like friendship, intrigue and rivalry and don't mind a slightly toxic community, then PvP is just the right thing for you. The time has come, everything is ready. You and the other tribes have forged an alliance to take revenge together. By now, you don't care about your loot. You have made so much progress in the last few days that you're further ahead than you were ever before the raid. Today, all you care about is having a good fight, and you also want to dominate your opponents. You set up your FOB, and by now you're 7 people taking part in the raid, sitting together in voice chat, and you all are just waiting for the raid leader to give the go. I can see the spark in your eyes. This is what you're burning for. As an opponent runs out of the base, you take the first shot. Unprepared, you hit your enemy and he falls lifeless to the ground. And now your mates start to soak turrets with the Stigos, while others with Gigas, snipers and compound bows keep your opponents at bay. It's back and forth for hours. The raid leader gives instructions and every hour the raid lasts, the situation changes. Sometimes it looks like you're winning, other times your opponents seem to be pushing you back. But in the end, your opponents are defeated. You're the greater force, you're more players and you're better prepared. In the end, the opponent's turrets are empty, there's a huge hole in the base and you plunder the last remaining resources in the base. What started with anger and frustration a few days ago has turned into the best time you've had in ARK so far. You've shown foresight and your tactical skills have saved you several times. You've got the fight you've always wanted and most importantly, you have made new friends. The enemy was defeated, but the new friendship remains. ARK PvP writes its own stories, and many of them are about raids and big fights. I mean, YouTube is full of them. If you want to experience great stories, then PvP is for you. Now you're the alpha on that server, but that's not the end of the story. Wildcard has announced a new patch and it's coming soon. The new map is coming out, you've already seen the island. You've built in every red hole and looted every base. You've had alliances and enemies, but now it's time to move on. You're moving to a new server. You change map and create a new character. You leave your old base behind. Maybe someone will come, find it and get the loot. But you move on to Scorched Earth, but not alone. You found a new tribe and together you're already building a small base before you log out for the day. And who knows, maybe you're writing a new story tomorrow. It may not always be easy with ARK and its community at the moment. Many of Wildcard's actions are poorly communicated, and yet PvP servers in ARK often benefit from frequent content updates and special in-game events. These updates introduce new creatures, items, game mechanics and maps, and those keep the experience fresh and exciting for players. If you want a game that still brings something new, even after hundreds or thousands of hours, PvP is for you. To find out why you should not play PvP, check the linked video.